Quinn on the mid versus nothing to say on the Ember. Also kind of feel like that probably goes the Leshrak's way once he gets a couple of points in Lightning.
Yeah, seems pretty good for the Lesh. Maybe it comes down to how good... I don't know how good the Flame Shield is. You know, Flame Guard has gotten buffed a lot, and it is a lot harder to get rid of. So that could be something that we see coming into play. But yeah, my gut says like Lesh versus melee. But shouldn't be asking me about these mid lane matchups. I'm a poor old pause 5 player.
Yeah, it's a dirty support. All right, what about the... we'll have the Primal Beast and the Snapfire lining up against a Drow and a Chen.
Yeah, that seems pretty scary, given that Chen can't really do anything to help you. Either one of these heroes gets going on, and they just kind of die. I'm definitely seeing first blood potential at like level 2, especially for Soniqs. Should be pretty straightforward.
Yep. Well, interesting drafts from both the teams. I think I am leaning probably the way of... it's really hard to say, but overall, like, LGD kind of... I think if the game's pretty even, they're looking pretty good, but if Soniqs can kind of accelerate out of this laning phase, then their Leshrac is going to look absolutely brutal, and they have the morph to kind of secondary carry later on. 2 level 30s as well, so tons of pub experience on these heroes also. I'm going to feel very comfortable. Let's get into it. Game number 1 of this best of 2 series. It is Soniqs versus PSG.LGD, NA versus China. We're going to start things on the boards.
So, nothing to say has like... He has a pretty free game from a lockdown perspective. There's not that much to catch and kill him, but I think the one place where I'm a little bit concerned is like who does he kill? He can get into the backlines and he can bully these supports a little bit, sure, but he's not just going to instantly kill either of them. So I don't know that Soniqs are actually that worried about him from that perspective.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. And he immediately jumping in here on to Ame, but Ame's going to be able to get away. Xingqiu might not be so lucky. Scatterblast comes through, right clicks are there, lightning to follow, and Quinn gets first blood on the Leshrac. Not the start which nothing to say wants to his middle lane.
Getting the confidence go. LGD probably not expecting to just get 4-manned like that when the enemy team does have a Morphling, but they make it work. Oh my god, this is some hate on this Chen. Look at these sentries. They've blocked 3 camps right at the start of the game. Wow. All right. Unlucky Innocents. Not going to get off much there. LGD going to be able to break this rune, though. Up at top, a little bit of fighting coming in, actually. It's Ame throwing out the frost arrows onto Leslau, chasing back the Primal Beast. And he's not even playing this side of the map. Innocence is coming bottom.
Oh, got him.
Where's your sentries now? They're on cooldown. Fada can't buy another one for a little while, for 27 seconds. So he's just going to have to body block these camps.
Damn, that is an outplay and a half.
Yeah, okay.
They weren't ready for that in the slightest.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised because, like we were saying, it seemed pretty clear that the Drow Chen should just get run over, kind of. But so maybe should have been expecting that there was going to be this swap. Though Chen is a little weaker in the off lane.
Nice catch from Quinn there on the split earth, getting a nice amount of damage off onto nothing to say to start off this lane. And of course, with that first blood advantage, he's probably just going to rock this lane from the very start now. Not much that nothing to say can do, honestly. Like
yeah,
he's had a bottle for like 30 seconds already.
Yeah, I don't know how you can draw any conclusions about this matchup after the other mid gets first blood like that. It's just a little bit too much.
And he's landing the split earth as well. It's a really, really tough time for the Ember Spiriters. Up at top, Ame and Xingqiu trading up into MSS and Leslau. It's probably going to be still a pretty good lane for the Drow, even though he doesn't have his Chen anymore. The next assassin can kind of just go in and be the frontliner, whilst Ame can just frost arrow people down. Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy lane to play, though. Okay, that was That cookie was a little bit of a wild misclick from MSS, but it does happen. My concern for LGD is that their supports don't really do a whole heck of a lot if the lanes don't go well. So again, even more pressure on Nothing to Say to kind of get out of the laning stage in good stead.
Nothing to Say getting very, very low, but down at bottom, there's also a bit of shenanigans going on. They've got this Hill Troll Priest to offer some healing to the lane as well, so even more regen coming out from Innocence.
Yeah, as if Centaur didn't have enough enough sustain. This is just what he needs. He needs a headdress and the heals from the Hill Troll Beast. Yeah,
So much coming out.
You can't
Still
stop
plenty of
Faith
mana as
Beyond
well.
farming down here. He can just sit in the wave as much as he wants.
Yep. Innocence might not be so lucky though, as that Alphonic Shield pops on him. The build Adaptive Strike comes out as well, so it just means the Hill Troll's going to heal him up a little bit instead. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's. I think they're just looking to farm. It's a very boring lane. Should be a bit of a farm fest. Not too much kill potential. Both supports not really offering a whole lot in terms of actual pressure. I did think that this top lane would have been able to make a go already, but it seems like it's just pushing in towards Soniqs, so they're content to maybe wait for the level 3 and then look to make a play. The Jinq Nyx is going to be annoying. If you make a go, he's going to pop out the stun, and maybe you just end up getting the Nyx kill and not being able to grab the draw.
Yeah, that's basically his job. He just wants to be the bodyguard of Arme. That's it.
Yep. Getting the Nyx kill and not being able to grab the draw.
Yeah, that's basically his job. He just wants to be the bodyguard of Arme. That's it.
Yep. Unfortunately, doesn't have any camp to play with or anything, so just has to wait for that to spawn up.
Water Rune's about to spawn. Quinn definitely going to be able to get one, and MSS coming down to grab the other, so nothing to say. Going to be a little bit sad about that one. And Quinn, I like this here. He's actually trying to kind of poke him and drain him a little bit. Force Nothing to Say to use a couple more resources than perhaps he should, until he realizes the rune is gone, and now it's like, oh, okay, I can't really regen now. That's pretty sad. Yeah, nice little move from Quinn. Top lane. Are you trying to set off onto Leslau, or is Leslau trying to set up onto Jinky? That is a question. Gus comes through with the trample coming out. Stun used the last second to keep him alive. Leslau maybe baited in a little bit here. One more right click will be required. Won't be found. I'll move on to MSS instead of again. Jinky moving towards the tree, just about keeping himself alive. Jinky desperately pinging MSS, says, get this guy instead. MSS guns him down, gets away. Arme unable to find Leslau on the sidelines as well. So the Drow left empty-handed. Just, wow, that was, I can't believe they didn't get a kill there at PSG.LGD.
Leslau baited him. He just came back and was like, oh, you can kill me instead. No, you can't. he was totally fine. And all right, that was kind of the way that I was expecting that to go in the end, with just the Nyx dying. Big dive at mid, at least threatened. But
yeah, forces a TP across from Fada to offer up the shield. That'll keep Quinn nice and healthy, at least for now.
Nothing to Say, absolutely the most important hero on the LGD side. This game is going to be the one making all the plays, enabling the supports to be more useful. So anything that they can do to kind of go and help his game is definitely worthwhile. And they weren't even away from these side lanes for too long. They get back there pretty quickly.
I do feel that's true for both mid laners, to be fair.
Yeah, 100%. Quinn's game does need to be kind of protected.
Yep, Nothing to Say. Instant trouble. Quinn's hit 6 first, and he's able to run him down, lands a stun, pops a Pulse Nova, and just kills off the Ember Spirit without any difficulties at all. Once again, Quinn, with the start he had, is able to just run that through and now turn it into a kill on to the Ember Spirit. And now he picks up a Haste Rune as well. If he doesn't get spotted here, he could cause a lot of damage on the top side of the map. Got to remember there's a Nyx Sass in it to this lane, though.
Yeah, they want this, but it's a little bit suspicious because the lane was pushing. So suddenly, Leslau running over.
Quinn gets seen. He's not actually going for the kill onto the Drow, though. He's just taking the farm. This is very interesting.
Okay, there's no spots.
Laszlo's going to come across, though. Oh my god, just smashes a path through the trees onto Arme. Arme cannot escape. The moment he's found by the Primal Beast, Quinn just pulls a haste through and joins him in the trees, and they just do unspeakable things to the Drow Ranger.
Trying to punish Fada.
Fada's in some trouble. Yeah, they're trying to bring him down. There is a remnant jump available, but we'll try and wait until the very last second. Gets away.
Soniqs just doing whatever they want on the map currently. That's what it feels like.
Having a great time. Able to make plays and able to keep their sports alive as well. Fada able to survive through that at mid. A little bit surprised the Ember didn't immediately jump across to try and kill off the Abaddon, but I think if he did, the shield might have just killed him, so...
Yeah, he's got to be pretty careful. He's not playing with a whole lot of health currently. And you know, Faith Beyond just has to kind of watch this and keep doing what he's doing. He can't afford to come TPing. Just needs to keep pressuring bottom, try and take the tower. Maybe press a Stampede to help elsewhere, but he is kind of stuck here for now.
But he is, as the Drow gets caught out in the top lane a little bit. Trample's going to come through and finish the job onto Arme. Arme goes down again. 5-0 right now in this laning phase for Soniqs.
Beautiful positioning. Yuara is completely out of mana at bottom, but he's got some stick charges. I think he's okay.
Yeah, it's going to actually go through the both of them. Ends up right on top of Innocence, but Innocence can't really do much. It's a Chen at the end of the day.
Saturn Mindstealer creep is such a pain. Quinn coming down here looking for the punish.
It's not going to last long, though. They will use a Stampede to get Innocence out of there. Faith Beyond getting to safety as well. Xingqiu moving across. Doesn't land the stun, though, so that's going to be that for now. Rotation ultimately failed from Quinn. He will make the stride of pride back to the mid lane.
Could look at bottom. And Stampede's on cooldown. I think he's got enough mana to kill Faith Beyond here. Maybe Xingqiu can save him.
Yeah, tanking the stun because he knows his lasts longer, and this should be a dead Nyx Assassin. Do they look in for more here? I don't think so. I think they'll just take the one kill and back themselves away, but a killing spree now for Quinn.
Just doing whatever he wants. And Fada backing him up. Very, very difficult to even look at the Slush Rack. Killing him is not going to be... Spots Innocence as well, just walking after him.
Pretty low on mana, but gets him with the last one. All right, Pulse Nova, all that was needed. Damn, he's really pushing this hero to its absolute limits here. Quinn is just clearing up.
Yeah, nothing to punish him for a little while. Maybe once the Nyx Assassin starts getting some levels, we see a point up in the mana burn, maybe things will change a little bit there, but for now, he is an absolute beast on the map.
And the thing is, he's doing all this, he's getting all these kills, and this isn't even a lightning storm.
Yeah,
he's
I was
gone
just about
for the
to
maximum
say. Yeah,
moment.
really good point. Yeah, he's just got the edict, so he's threatening the buildings as well. Xingqiu's dying, meanwhile, at top. Nice stun, keeps him alive, but there's still a charge from the Primal Beast. 8-0.
Yeah, we'll bring him down regardless. Oh dear, Soniqs. What a start to this game. LGD, you know, that one of the best teams in the world, but not feeling like it today. Just a rough start to TI at the moment. Can they start to pull it together in this game and start to threaten Soniqs for something here? I mean, what timings could they wait for?
Blink on the Centaur. It's probably the main thing, but this is the thing with Centaur. It's always a little bit slow. And Faith Beyond has gone for 2 small items before looking at the blink, so he's not going to be joining the game anytime soon. And meanwhile, Xingqiu is just getting dove at top.
Yeah, it was a long run, but eventually the trample will come through, and they get that kill. And now look towards Nothing to Say as well, or just get out against Nothing to Say. Not sure what the idea is here. Chains out, kill with Nothing to Say. Trying to get the first kill for PSG.LGD, but now the Flame Guard is out. He realizes there's nothing he can do, so we'll just have to zip straight back down to bottom as the Kisses were threatening him as well.
Yeah, not going to let LGD get on the board here.
Goodness gracious, what is happening?
Okay, at least they've taken bottom, and now they can just park Faith Beyond mid, so they can hold that for a little while, but he can't be everywhere, and so they will end up losing top at the same time. Everybody on Soniqs farming fantastically. PSG.LGD not that far behind, all things considered, but just I don't think the kind of early game that you're looking for with this lineup. You know, it does seem like they're gonna have to forego some of the strength of the Chen. Innocence has been farming a bit, so they will maybe have a mech timing to play around it with the blink on the Centaur as well.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's something. But is it enough?
Got the first Vendetta out here for Jinq, so he's looking for something. Maybe he just ends up getting a courier. I don't know.
Oh, he's good to see Laszlo and MSS here. Maybe if there's follow-up. I mean, there's an Ember nearby. All right, this is MSS dead. First kill on the board for PSG.LGD at 12 minutes. Not the biggest thing to celebrate, but it's something, I guess.
You don't have to hear owning
Laszlo,
for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, Fada holding the point in the ultimate.
Yeah, will now drop it just to get away from the stun. Break himself to safety.
So DD Ember, he's getting poked. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. One more Sleight of Fist in 1 second will finish the job, and that will be that. Quinn's TPing him this one, though. He wants to see what he can get done, but of course, as there is remnants always available from Nothing to Say, he hasn't got one thrown out at the moment. Get a little bit cautious as Pulverize coming out onto Innocence. Okay, he gets caught trying to wrap around the side of this one. Not quite sure what his plan was, but the result was his death.
Wasn't even an onslaught. Laszlo just phase boots straight on top of him. Down he goes. And with that, back to farm stations very briefly. Important that the Ember got a kill there, though. Nothing to say. Slow start. It's just going to go for the Maelstrom, so we will have some farming tools, and we'll be able to catch up.
Yeah, and despite it all, it's not the end of the world. The Leshrac is doing very well, but somehow the Centaur is keeping up net worth with him. And Nothing to Say is not really far behind, and Arme's, probably the one suffering the most, and even then, not suffering a huge amount. So, we meme about the kills, but ultimately, LGD are not really suffering too hard for the amount at which they're dying.
Yeah, they're keeping it close. My concern is about kind of about the late game, but if they can keep the Drow Ranger safe in the fights, and Ame's just able to stand there and get hits off, it is certainly a hero that can look really good against the Lesh and the Morph, but yeah, his farm is not amazing currently, and they do have plenty of ways to get on top of him. So a lot of work needs to be done by Faith Beyond and Jinq.
Yeah, this is pretty scary though. Quinn, he's picked up a Arcane Rune, so whenever he pops that, it's going to be...
Yeah, and he's got the Bloodstone. He's pretty pretty strong at this point. They got 4 points in the Aphotic Shield as well. I don't know that they have enough damage to kill Quinn. And there isn't really a way to chain stun him from full to nothing. So.
Yep, that said, they're not really getting much done here, Soniqs. They had this advantage, and actually, it's going to come swinging back the way of PSG.LGD now, so... Advantage gone. It's a good laning phase they had. It's not caused a huge difference. They need to make something happen with this massive Leshrac they have. What can they do? Well, cleaning up all the Chen's creeps would not be bad, to be fair. Mech's even going to be used to try and keep them alive. Live, my little pigeon, live! And Quinn still not choosing to pop the Arcane Rune either, so... Really, really patiently waiting in the middle lane as Faith Beyond now with the Blink Dagger, looking for a target. He is directly under vision though, so they know exactly where the Centaur is going. And utilizing that, well, Laszlo's just going to walk straight into them and get himself silenced up. He might just be dead. Stun from MSS is going to disrupt the Drow, but it's not enough to save Laszlo. He's going to fall, but Arme will die in response. Quinn gets on top of him, and now, can they chase for more? They don't really have the catch, so Soniqs will just go back to farming and accept the trade which they were given.
Yeah, still nice for them. Shut down the Drow. Did they get the D ward afterwards? So maybe not.
I think not.
Yeah.
They still have the walls are just running out down there. They were placed a long time ago. 60 minutes in, and LGD are not letting us tower. Mid tower fall for free, that's for sure. Not at all jump in stun, only lands onto MSS, and they'll be able to find the Impale, and with a molly shot from the high ground, that is a dead Snapfire. Fata also under fire as well, but he's able to get himself back. Laszlo still waiting in the wings. Doesn't have this BKB just yet. Would really like to wait for it until he fights, but always going to be there for his team if he need him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is the one thing that's a bit tricky for Soniqs lineup, is that all 3 cores on PSG.LGD can farm, and the Chen is also a pretty good farmer. So if they have space, they can drag the net worth lead back. Like, as we're seeing, Primal Beast is just not that quick. He can shove lanes, but he can't do anything in the jungle, really. So
Radiant are scanning.
Laszlo definitely wants to go and fight now that he's got the BKB. This should be go time for Soniqs, and looks like the plan is just walk down mid, at least at first. I don't know how easy it is for them to go for a tier 2, but Quinn can posture pretty aggressively here on mid.
Ooh, Jinkyu trying to set up here onto Quinn. He does get off the Bloodstone first. Is it going to matter though? It's Arme from the sidelines just blasting into him.
The Hurricane!
And that is going to be a death for Quinn, and now Fata as well, also being beaten up here. Damages that. And Fata doesn't have a counterplay, especially with that those Frost Arrow stacks upon him. That's bad. There's a lot of heroes going down right now.
Yeah, one more for PSG.LGD added on the pile. Just a tiny little positioning error or miscommunication from Soniqs there. Fata was, I think, trying to deward on the high ground. He got just a little bit too far away from his Lesh. The Lesh got hurricaned back by this Chen, and just couldn't be saved. And
yeah, nice little cherry on the cake there, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt, especially with like we were saying, this BKB picked up for the Primal Beast. Laszlo wants to go and fight with the squad, but suddenly it's PSG.LGD just scattering to the winds, back to shoving all the lanes, making some space for themselves. And you look at the Ember and you wouldn't tell at all that Nothing to Say had a difficult early game. Just doing totally fine on the net worth.
Yeah, they all are. PSG.LGD just recovered from this laning phase completely. But they're looking for revenge, Soniqs. What can they do? Leshrac, he has himself a Blink Dagger now, so we'll be able to get in on top of the Drow if they see her. Of course, also depends... Oh, no. Emma Spirit just flying over the top, pops all of their smokes inside that Remnant.
Dang. Yeah, and there's a ward here, so...
Reveals everything.
Tower is under attack.
Well, Soniqs back to the drawing board, eh? Blink Dagger and Quinn ultimately not going to mean much. Nothing to Say, trying to get the tower. Does get denied by Quinn at the very least, but not much more than that to be done.
Soniqs a little bit frustrated, just going to go and force the Roshan. LGD know that this is going on. They did have a creep inside of the pit, but it doesn't really look like they want to do anything. They seem pretty intent on just they've even picked up Boots of Travel on Faith Beyond. He's farming up a Storm on the Centaur. Talked about it a little bit earlier. The Ember is very difficult to catch and punish this game, and it does almost seem like, for PSG.LGD, they're just not concerned about hitting any kind of Chen timings or anything like that. They seem content to just split push the map, run Soniqs around in circles, and yeah, maybe feeling confident heading into that later game phase with their tricore.
Yep, and they use that window to get some deeper wards down inside of PSG.LGD, so should be able to read Soniqs pretty well. I mean, it's very calm from them, very considered game. They're not overreacting to the fact that there's a Roshan going on. They let them take it. They realize that even though they have been able to recover very, very well from this learning phase, they're still not in fighting shape just yet. But yeah, the thing which really interests me is definitely that the Centaur pickup on the Boots of Travel. Well, what do you imagine that's for?
I really think it's just to keep his farm accelerating. I think Faith Beyond is just having a good game. Wants to be able to deal with the side lanes, be a constant threat, just make more room on the map. I think it's going to pay off for him here, just with the amount that he's farming.
Aegis on one team, net worth advantage on the other. LGD able to stabilize very, very nicely.
Yeah, this is some of the downside of picking something like an Abaddon as your position 5, especially when you've got the Lesh. Quinn just trying to jump in on top of Faith Beyond, but Stampede gets popped. And
another indication of how LGD just don't really care about the pacing of this game. They're happy to pop a Stampede just to get one hero away. Absolutely fine by them. They can waste more of Sonic's time. that is exactly a deal they want to take. Mid lane, Quinn. Oh, look to set up there with a split earth, but Fala not quite tasty enough to tempt the Ember in. Nothing to say, he is a well-disciplined man.
So seemingly, LGD just completely unconcerned about Morphling and the fact that he's farming. This sort of seem to be the flavor of the game here, that LGD are like, yeah, whatever, we don't care if your Morphling's farming. We're pretty confident with our answers to the Leshrac, and heck, you know, the answers to the Morphling are kind of here as well. Decent lockdown, the Drow Ranger delivering the damage, as Ame now just quietly, he's been making his way up to #1 on the net worth.
Yeah, he's been having a great time. Had a lot of the map to farm whilst the team's been making deep plays and kind of distracting Soniqs for the most part. Damn. Soniqs not favorites at all.
They just feels like they're getting kind of run around in circles. Leslau, you know, got to be a little frustrating for him. He's got Blink, he's got BKB, but it just hasn't gotten the time of day. He's trying to blink on top of nothing to say at mid, but he's out of there.
Shinkyu is going to get seen here at the very least, so there should be at least one pickup for them. He's going to make them work for it, but eventually he will get taken on down. Yoa's going to grab that kill. Oh, I was thinking of coming over, but with all the heroes showing up for this next session, they'll just peace out.
Okay, this is a nice way to deal with what PSG.LGD are doing. Fnatic's picked up the gem. They're going to try and completely deward this side of the, deward their side of the map, so it makes it harder for LGD, especially against these double blink daggers, to feel so confident about shoving the lanes all the way to the towers and stuff like that. So they figured out a way to kind of break out of the stalemate, break out of the chokeholds. Just have to see where they can go from there.
Goodness gracious. I mean, the fact that LGD have been able to play themselves out of the situation by not even answering Soniqs is kind of worrying. Do you feel like Soniqs just haven't pushed the advantage enough?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I think that not going and trying to find some kind of a fight with the BKB on the Primal Beast was a little bit surprising, but LGD seem absolute in their resolve to not fight them just yet, right? They knew that the Roshan was happening. It was just like, yeah, go for it. Do what you want.
Yep. And LGD are playing such basic Dota as well. Like, they're not really overreacting. They're just kind of being annoying where possible, but this might be big. They're jumping onto Quinn here. Quinn, though, still has 28 seconds left on this Aegis, so probably not the best time to try and bring him down. With that Bloodstone, he's able to get a little bit of his mana back, but low on mana, low on health. Gotta be careful. 15 seconds left on the Aegis.
Sonic tried to find Ame at the same time.
Yeah, but he's got a BKB though, so he's able to just turn this one around and chase them off. They can't fight him. And the Stampede to be used, which Ame is using to run forwards nonetheless. So Soniqs outplayed once again just by the BKB pickup. They thought she didn't have it yet, but Ame ready.
Sonic's kind of forced to deal with just some Chen creep, split push at bottom. It was a nice move, but again, PSG.LGD just kind of slip right through their fingers and make it back out onto the map, keep on farming. Next Assassin is still getting wards down. I don't know if this one is going to be very long-lived. Yeah, Fnatic's going to come over here, click on this ward, realize that it was planted 10 seconds ago, and know that the next Assassin is just in the area.
Yeah. Pesky little Nyx, always hanging around. Well, now no Aegis, all semblance of an advantage now gone for the side of Soniqs. The ball now firmly in PSG.LGD's court. What can they do with it? Well, probably farm a bit more, probably wait for some more timings. They want to get a couple more cookies in their basket before they come sprinting down into this game. But there is a bit of pressure starting to mount on the bottom side.
Chen tried to hurricane himself out there, but couldn't quite make it down to the low ground. All right, so he dies. There's a ward up here. They kind of knew what he was up to.
Yeah, not a bad death with the amount of pressure coming out at bottom.
Yeah, I don't think Soniqs can really fight this. They're thinking about it. I don't think they have a smoke. UR might just want to finish off his Scotty.
Yeah, I think I prefer to see the mirror play coming out from Soniqs. What do you think?
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I'd be okay with that though. I mean, Leslie already TPing down.
All right, they're going for it. Oh, Laszlo jumps in, but immediate blink out from Faith Beyond. Taking no risks here, and once again, just walking Sonics in circles at the moment. Sonics just can't get their claws into any of these heroes. So slippery, so annoying.
Just nothing has happened for the last little bit, other than that Chen pickoff, a little bit of excitement with that BKB getting forced out. But now PSG.LGD, first time we've seen them smoked up as 5 this entire game, decided that this is their timing.
And Fada breaks it. And nothing to say that. This guy is here. Oh well, guess we'll look for it. But actually on the sidelines, a much bigger target has been seen. Laszlo is spotted. Has the BKB. Gonna have to pop it and turn around with a pulverize. Naturally, they might be able to get the return kill. No. Beyond, he's got the BKB to back himself off with. Laszlo, now his BKB runs out and he gets taken on down by Nothing to Say. Nothing to Say now looking for a target. They're trying to keep Quinn alive. Can they do it? Yes, they can. BKB comes out from him. He's healed up just enough to keep on fighting. Faith Beyond gets turned inside out. Arme's in the fight now. Multi-shot comes through onto Yawar. Yawar just keeps his distance, stays away as PSG.LGD make a trade, and a pretty even one at that.
Offlane for offlane. I think even favoring Sonics a little bit by the numbers, just because they are a little bit behind currently on the board.
Never refuse gold given.
Yeah, it's tricky for Sonics. They've only got so much lockdown, and we're seeing even beyond the like slippery ember, just the 4 staffs getting picked up for PSG.LGD, proving to be pretty annoying, and not going to get any easier as we get these double Lincolns coming out as well for Ame. Nothing to Say. They don't really have that many throwaway spells to pop it. I'm trying to fight bottom. Quinn just in.
Quinn.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right.
Big commitment from Quinn there, just blinking onto these heroes' faces. And look at the multi-shot, slowing down all these heroes. And Fada's going to be the target. I mean, he's going to heal up from that one, popping that ultimate. Quinn needs to get out. Stun just about catches him. Oh, dear. Quinn gets killed off. PSG.LGD looking for more. Will they be finding it, though? Yes, they will. They're going to be able to get MSS. There's Nothing to Say close the gap on him, but everybody else able to get themselves up to that high ground and to relative safety. But they're going to be losing a tower at the very least for this one. 9k gold advantage on the side of LGD. They're about to take a tower, which might swing it to 10. There you go. Huge, huge amount of damage being dealt by Ember in that fight.
Abaddon with no ulti just had to peel away from the Lesh, but without him around, Quinn looking pretty squishy. Ame, it's been a slow roll, but he is doing a huge amount of damage now, even with very defensive items overall. Like, he's just got a BKB, a Pike, and a Lincoln's, but still just doing plenty with the Shard and the ult and all the levels that he's managed to accumulate. And the question does become, when's the Morphling really going to enter the game? What is his angle into these fights? You are kind of struggling to get in and actually make anything happen.
Yeah, that's the issue. And what point do we think Yoa is really going to be a big impact? I feel like he needs even like BKB Skadi to really
he's got the
turn up to what I mean.
so yeah.
Yeah, true.
I think he can make some plays. Maybe even morph into the Ember potentially and get a sight chains, chase down that way. They certainly need something.
Jump in, stun onto Fada. Fada just going to pop the borrowed time. Or have it pop, I'm not quite sure which it was, but either way, he gets himself back. And now PSG.LGD say, you're Roshan. No, this is our Roshan. They are in the pit straight away. Arme just blasting down this road. It's going so quick, they need to do something about this. Sonics, you need to get in. 33%, 20%, 10%, 0%. Roshan belongs to PSG.LGD. Oh, Quinn. Oh, nice catch there onto Ember Spirit. Can they turn this one around? They need the damage. They need it now, and they're not going to find it as the heal comes through from Innocence and backlines. Quinn with the BKB, able to get himself back towards his team. Kiss is coming over from MSS as well, but not enough being done, and PSG.LGD hold a very firm line.
Dang. Even landing the stuns on the Ember like that just can't do enough. He's got the Kai and Sanj, he's got the Lincolns, they got the heals coming through. Sonics, I don't really think it's lack of damage. It's probably just lack of lockdown, that they can't actually complete these kills. And yeah, we're heading towards a late game that still just looking very, very difficult for the Morphling to sit and hit anybody in these fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Quinn could have got in and gotten the damage off onto the Ember Spirit, but he got jumped by, I think, the Centaur, who stunned him up, so he couldn't come in and do the damage they needed to Nothing to Say, so Nothing to Say gets away with it.
My thrift rewarded.
Despite an incredible catch from Soniqs from CCNC. That's right, I'm using the old name. I'm mixing it up a bit.
I saw Quinn TPing back to his tier 1. I'm trying to take a fight. But bottom lane shoving, mid lane shoving, so much information for PSG.LGD all the time. Soniqs still trying to mount some kind of offensive up top here. It's just Ame running at them.
Jesus, they'll manage to get off the spike carapace as well. Full stuff is on to Leshrak. He's trying to do what he can on MSS and Fada, but it's not going to be enough. Quinn still to fall. MSS going to follow him to the grave. It's PSG.LGD looking for more. Fada in the tree lines. Not going to be getting out of this one. Too much damage coming out from Ame at the moment as they take down 3 heroes. Just so quick here. So clinical from PSG.LGD.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They've just got so much farm. They've got such a huge net worth lead. And the way that Dota is these days, everybody scales with net worth. You know, even Faith Beyond here just looking absolutely Chadley with his Centaur, picking up the Shivas. He's enormous.
Yep, now just a casual stroll at the high ground. This seems so effortless from the side of PSG.LGD. Like, I don't know, man. This was... I don't even know if they could call it an output. It just played the map so much better than Soniqs. So much better.
Yeah, they really just farmed them around in circles and like Nothing to Say, constantly running down lanes, being a pest. Didn't have anything to deal with him, even though this was a first pick Ember. I think Soniqs, like we said, the plan was very much like, look, we don't care about him so much because as much as we can't catch him, maybe we think he can't necessarily kill us, and we're just gonna have this kind of death ball going, but. With the BOTs on the Centaur and the Chen creep shoving lanes, they just have not been able to get out on the map. Even with Quinn buying some BOTs to try and fight back and split push a little bit. He can't play as freely as the heroes on PSG.LGD can, though, because there's always that worry in the back of your mind that, okay, I'm shoving on this lane, but there's a Nyx on the other team, so there could always be Nyx Assassin coming and finding me. So you can kind of see that he can't cope past the elbow here on the lane. He can shove it out to there, but then he has to jump back and kind of rejoin the safety of his team under their wards.
Yeah, they have to play in vision as well. There's always the threat of the Nyx Assassin or the Centaur getting on top of you. And this is why we say it. This is why you get yourself that cheap disposable lockdown, that hero you can just throw in and kind of not mind too much if they do get caught out. Just frees up your draft so much, and you're seeing exactly that. Look at ZQ here. Look at ZQ. He's like, oh dear, I've been jumped. He does actually just get to die here, but again, so much better than anyone else. Actually, they're still trying to follow up on this. Faith Beyond maybe has to be a little bit careful. They'll pop the Stampede, though. They just want to commit to this fight. Huge commitment from LGD as they jump in with Nothing to Say and then jump themselves out again. No chance of them actually overcommitting. Just want to get those BKBs. Want to squeeze Soniqs a little bit here.
It's insane that they can position like this, so there's just really nothing to punish them. Like the only thing that can start for Soniqs is a Blink Pulverize, and there's the Lincolns. So Ame's always going to be able to get the pike off. He's always going to be able to position backwards. Soniqs smoked up.
Starting to feel a little bit hopeless for the side of Soniqs. From such a good laning phase to this, I just can't believe it's all snuck away from them. That's how it does get seen, but they're actually going to try and commit onto Faith Beyond, but the Ogre Seal Totem bounces him away, turns around with a stun. Let's not force him up the BKB early in this one, but it's just this Ember Spirit in the fight, bouncing around, doing so much work out onto Leslau. They will bring him down with ease. And look at this from Nothing to Say, just jumping in so very deep as Fada gets left behind. If you're slow, you're dead. That's it. Buyback comes out from the Primal Beast. They need to keep Quinn alive some way, somehow. He's so low and he will fall. Xingqiu catches him with the Mana Burners. They will now jump into this one. Leslau gets a little bit of revenge, but he himself will get cut down. Soniqs, what can you do?
They can't
the answer.
the Centaur. It's got 5k
There's
health.
not a whole lot.
That's it. Dang.
That's it. Goodness gracious, what a game one. I mean, it was looking so bad for LGD, and then they just kind of shrugged it off. They just didn't really care.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, guys, hit the creeps. We're fine. We've got all the split push. We're going to shove waves with Chen creeps. We're going to shove waves with Ember. Drow's just going to farm. Faith Beyond's going to get so huge that they just can't kill him. Even if, I think even if all 5 of them just popped everything, the Centaur was enormous. And
Yep.
very, very quiet game from the Primal Beast. You know, Leslau had a couple of nice moves in the, played the lane nicely.